Once upon a time, in a small town near the mountains, there lived a 17-year-old boy named Arjun. His family was poor. His mother worked long hours in a weaving shop, barely earning enough to keep food on the table. Arjun was not the brightest student in class, but he had one hidden gift. He never gave up. Every morning before the sun rose over the mountain peaks, Arjun would lace up his worn-out shoes and run along the rocky paths. His dream was to become a professional runner and get selected for the state sports academy. If he succeeded, he could finally train like a real athlete, make his mother proud, and one day build her a proper house instead of the broken hut they lived in. But there was a problem. For 3 years, Arjun entered every local race, and every time he lost. Sometimes he came second, sometimes third, but never first. His friends laughed and said, "Arjun, maybe running is not for you. You're wasting your life." Yet Arjun refused to stop. He kept running every single day. One stormy morning, as he sprinted down the mountain trail, he slipped on the wet rocks and fell hard. His knees were bleeding and his ankle throbbed with pain. Sitting under a pine tree, rain pouring over him, he cried for the first time in years. "Maybe they're right," he whispered. "I've tried so hard, yet I always fail. Maybe I'll never be good enough." Just then, an old shepherd, guiding his flock of sheep, stopped and asked gently, "Why are you crying, son?" Arjun lifted his face and said, "I run every day. I give everything, but I always lose. I think I'm just wasting my time." The shepherd smiled and pointed to the hillside. "See those apple trees? Do you know how long it takes before they bear fruit?" Arjun shook his head. The shepherd continued, 5 years. For 5 long years, you water them, protect them, but you see nothing. Then suddenly, in one season, they bloom and give you hundreds of apples. Were they growing only in that season? No. They were building their roots deep into the soil, preparing for their time. Son, you too are building your roots. Don't stop now. Those words struck Arjun's heart. From that day, he ran not to prove others wrong, but to prove himself right. Rain or sunshine, cold winds or heat, Arjun ran. He studied the techniques of professional runners, improved his breathing, fixed his stride, and trained harder than ever. Slowly, his body grew stronger, his mind sharper. A year later came the state inter-school race. The winner would be selected for the sports academy. The field was packed with powerful runners from big city schools. Arjun stood silently among them, nervous but determined. The whistle blew. Arjun ran, not the fastest at first, but steady, calm, and focused. He didn't panic when others surged ahead. He didn't stop when his muscles burned. Step by step, he stayed in rhythm. And in the final stretch, something awakened within him. His legs felt lighter, his breath steady. One by one, he passed the others. And finally, with a final burst of energy, Arjun crossed the finish line. First, the crowd erupted in cheers. His teachers shouted with joy. His mother covered her face with her hands, tears streaming down her cheeks. Arjun was selected for the State Sports Academy. More than victory, he had discovered his true strength. Years later, Arjun returned to the mountains, now a successful athlete. He went to meet the old shepherd, who was sitting peacefully near his flock. Arjun smiled and said, "Because of your wise words, I never gave up. If I hadn't heard your advice that day, I would have quit." The shepherd looked at him with gentle eyes and said, "I only showed you the truth. But remember, Arjun, the strength was always inside you. You were the one who chose to rise again." Moral of the story: great things take time. Just because you don't see results right away doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Like the apple tree, your roots may be growing deep, preparing for something greater. Most people give up just before success arrives. But those who remain patient, consistent, and believe in themselves are the ones who achieve their dreams. So whatever your dream is, keep going. Your season will come,